Down at the bottom of a very pretty valley, there's a magical place called Summerton Mill. And when the water wheel turns at Summerton Mill, a little bit of magic takes place. And, for a little while, everything goes back to how it used to be.
Oh, it's a lovely morning,
said Dan, as he looked out to the Summerton Valley.
Just look how lovely it is out there.
Morning, Dan,
said Mrs Naybhur, as she walked past Mousy Tongue, the cat, who was lying in the sun.
Oh, morning, Mrs Naybhur. It's a lovely day, isn't it?
It certainly is, Dan. In fact, I was going to suggest that we went on a little adventure, and it's the perfect day for doing what I have in mind.
What did you have in mind, Mrs Naybhur?
Well, Dr. Naybhur was telling me this morning that if you try and count the stones in the stone circle, you never come up with the same number twice in a row.
That's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I thought we could go up there and have a go. And I've brought a couple of slices of my nice fruitcake and a biscuit for Fluffer, just in case we get hungry.
Ha ha! That sounds good. Come on, Mrs Naybhur. Let's go.
Dan and Mrs Naybhur headed off towards the stone circle.
So, what's the plan, Mrs Naybhur? Well, first we have to count the stones and see how many there are,
said Mrs Naybhur, and she carefully counted the stones.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 stones. Now, if Dr. Naybhur is right, if we count them again, we won't get the same number.
Oh, well, let's count them again and see what happens.
Right. Here goes then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10 stones. It was 11 last time. How very strange.
Spooky.
Why don't you have a go at counting, Dan?
Oh, okay then. 1, 2, 3...
No, I mean count the stones, silly.
Oh, yes, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I make it 9. Well, I never,
said Mrs Naybhur.
First we counted 11 stones, then we counted 10, and now it's 9. Have another go, Dan.
And Dan had another go at counting the stones.
1, 2...
Oh! Hello, said Dr. Naybhur, as he landed in a heap in the stone circle.
Well, Dr. Naybhur, there we were, counting the stones, thinking that there was some ancient stone circle magic going on, and it was you all the time, being very naughty.
And the grass was green, the sky was blue, the sun was shining, and they stayed up at the stone circle until it was time to go home. And Dr. and Mrs Naybhur decided to go back the long way round, and Dan and Fluffer headed back down into the valley. And when Dan and Fluffer got back to Summerton Mill, Mousy Tongue was still lying asleep in the sun. And as the water level drops back down, the big old water wheel slows and eventually stops. And Summerton Mill, still beautiful in its tumble-down state, goes back to being a home just to the wild animals, the birds, and the plants.